What's up, guys? Hopefully this started. You guys can see me. Bitcoin is looking like it's going to hit our target here on the daily, possibly. That's that 78,169-ish. Remember, none of this is 100%, but this is just a measured move from this falling wedge that we dropped out of. We came up, retested, come back down. That should get us to about the 78.1. Look for a bounce there. Obviously, we could go much lower. We could go down into the high 60s. If it does do that tonight or overnight, I would expect tomorrow to be a dead cat bounce or a relief rally for the traditional markets, meaning Bitcoin would bounce with it. So we'll see what happens here. But remember, whatever traditional markets do tomorrow. So I hate updates. I won't do updates. It has screwed me up so many times doing updates with this computer. I won't do it no more. So anyways, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up. Let's get into the chat. Let's see what Savvy has to say today. Doesn't look good right now. I don't think it's the end of the world, but we are breaking the parabola. But remember, we also had to break that 55 EMA. Currently, that's sitting about 76,170. Remember, if it plays out like this, we could get down to that upper 60s, right? Within maybe this week, maybe tonight. I don't think it'll happen tonight, but who knows? It could definitely happen. It could get down to the touch. But once we break this, right, I believe we'll bounce on this blue line in the upper 60s, right? And once that breaks, probably come down and test this 200 EMA like we did over here. And remember, guys, it don't have to look exactly the same. It just plays out kind of, it'll just kind of rhyme if it does. And that will be what I believe to be the beginning of a huge bear market, probably a year or two downtrend from here, right? So a year and a half left, maybe, if it was to happen. Again, guys, nothing's guaranteed. Make sure you guys smash that thumbs up. I will no longer talk about who's running any countries anymore or anything, because I believe that's why YouTube is shadow banning me, and I'm only getting 1,000 views per video. Literally, I used to get 1,000 views in the first hour, right? Just the last couple of weeks, it's been really bad. So again, not going to talk about that stuff anymore because apparently YouTube doesn't like me voicing my opinion on stuff. So what we're going to do here is talk about our charts, talk about trading. Let's take a look at my trades. For those of you that are new here or haven't been around, make sure you subscribe to the channel, tick the bell to get notified when I post new videos, smash that like button, share the video if you would. We have been nailing this whole time. Let's look at our latest trade here. Remember, on this trade, we're up. We're up a lot more than that now. We're up probably about 145, 150,000 in the last month, a little over a month now, off of a $7,000 account. Pretty damn good. So right now, in our trades that we're in right now that we entered the other day, remember, guys, I tell everybody when I entered them. I tell everybody when I move stops. I tell everybody everything. I don't hide nothing. You see my wins and you see my losses because I don't hide my trades, right? So right now we're up 18,000. I have my stop losses at 81.2 on all of these. There's 5 Bitcoin shorts here. 81.2 is my stop loss. So even if I get stopped out right now, I'm good with that. It's like a $8,000 profit right in there, even if I get stopped. So you can't lose this trade now. Also, my trade on BITUNIX right here, we are up 355%. We're up 3,500 on that one. Same thing. My stops are at 81.2. And take position on all these are 70. But again, I'll move my stops down as we break more levels. And I'll let you guys know in the Discord, that's totally free. There's only 37 likes, guys. I need you to take 1 second out. If you're on your mobile, exit the chat and hit that thumbs up. Please do that. It really helps the channel, especially right now with the crap going on with the channel, right? Just make sure you smash the likes. Make sure you're commenting. And I know you do, Michael. I know all you guys do. What's up, Donna? Palm, what's up? Michael. My 2-time short on ETH from Friday is looking beautiful. Right on. First like and first FU Savvy. Thanks, Mug. Chad, what's up? We got 48 likes, 123 viewers. All right, I'm going to take a quick look over. Oh, so if you guys are interested in trading, remember, this is only got a couple more weeks where you can sign up to Prime XBT using my link and get 100% deposit bonus up to $10,000. So if you deposit $100, they put in an extra 100 that you could use towards your margin. If you put in 10,000, they put in an extra 10,000. 100% of what you put in, they'll match to use towards your margin. Also, if you already have an account signed up under my link, you can go up to the promo code section right here, hit promo codes, put in Savvy100, and that'll get your discount. BITUNIX, for those of you that don't use VPN or KYC, BITUNIX, the huge thing going on with BITUNIX tomorrow, you can win a Tesla. So if you are into mostly crypto, Prime XBT focuses on crypto, Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, anything, all from one exchange. BITUNIX is just crypto, no KYC, no VPN. You sign up using my link, you got some bonuses there. Also, you'll be signed up. If you use my link, I'll show you guys tomorrow. You'll see what the prizes are tomorrow. It's kind of a little competition, right? So, anyways. Hey, Duke. Rusu said Coinbase Death Cross. What's down? Let's take a look at let's take a look. Here's we blew through that target, right? So now what's our other targets here? We have the 77.6 for a good area for a bounce, right? If that breaks, then we're going to them lower upper 60s, guys. That's still what I'm seeing. If this doesn't hold here around this 77 range, it probably could get ugly, but you could get a wick past here, maybe down to 75, grab the liquidity, shoot back up, maybe go test that 83 again. We'll see. But once this breaks, it should become pretty heavy resistance. We'll see what happens there. Let's see. Hit the ones if you have already hit the like. Hit the twos if you're not hitting the like or something. Let me see what's going on here, because we got 133 viewers, 59 likes. Let's take a look at some altcoins here. What's going on with the alts? So it does look like this target may have been pretty accurate. We got some. Why the drop? Because it's the markets, man. I'm sure there'll be an excuse. They always have an excuse, but it's the markets, dude. People are trading it. That's why it dropped. XRP is hanging on by a thread at this 196. Remember, if that breaks, you look for 161. If that breaks, it is a rough one for XRP. So right here is our target. We're almost to our target on ADA. So, and that's 57. If that doesn't hold and that breaks, we're going all the way down to the 30s. Obviously, this is a daily chart. It won't happen in a day, guys. And Ethereum. So you guys know our target has been 15,000 or 1,500 for Ethereum, not 15,000. Has been 15,000. I still think we're going to hit that. If that breaks, we have much lower targets. Again, these are daily charts. Let's look at Litecoin. Litecoin hit our first target. Remember, if you guys have been watching this channel for any amount of time, the last couple months, we've had these targets. We have not moved them. We have not been bullish one day, bearish the next, bullish one day, bearish the next. We have been watching these exact targets coming into fruition, and it's very simple. Not a whole bunch of indicators that you got to pay for. It's just simple stuff, guys. You can join the Discord. A lot of people in there are, a lot more people in there are trading now. But this does look like the parabola is breaking here, guys. So just be cautious. You know, this could be moved out a little bit, I suppose, but really be careful. This is going to be a pivot, whatever moment. Yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on it. Remember, I got stops at 81.2. If I get stopped out, that's fine. Even if it goes lower, I'll find a new one. Remember, guys, we're here to trade, not here to ride the market all the way forever, one way or the other. It's an endless bank account. Man, these markets are looking bad. I don't know. They're not really gonna give us anything on what's going on in the markets as of right now. I would be curious to see if there was a way to look right now what people are planning or setting up to do in traditional markets. 68 likes. Well, we have gotten over 100 viewers at one time right now, so that's a good thing, I guess. That's better than lately, because it was blocking me at 100. Maybe they're kind of giving me some leeway. As long as I don't talk about certain things that they don't like, they'll let me get more views. We'll see what happens with that. I do appreciate you guys stopping by. You guys rock, each and every one of you. Let's see, what's up, Jeff Noob, Anthony, Nilish. Am I saying that right or wrong, or is it okay either way? I hate pronouncing names I don't know. Rusu, Mug, Nick Star. Notice how all opposition YouTubers like George Ganman are suddenly quitting now. They're quitting? I have not seen anything like that. I don't know. I don't really keep up on a bunch of YouTubers. And that's one thing you're going to get on my channel. It's my own real thoughts, my own, views of the markets. I don't really care what other YouTubers and things like that say. And like I said, I'm real. I really show you what I'm really doing. I don't lie and act like I'm trading and not trade. I show you my trades from start to finish, right? That's how you know it's real. If I just popped up with a winner here and there and said, look at this, I won, without showing anybody I got in the trade, that means I probably get in a lot and I probably lose a lot, and I only show winners, right? But you've seen my winners, you've seen my losers. We're way up. We've lost some, but we're way up, right? What's up, Darren? How you doing, brother? Everyone say hello to Darren Brooks, my boy. Nilesh, either way is okay. All right, man. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. 151 viewers, 76 likes. Are you a rocker? Am I a rocker? Who? What, me? No. Nah, they're not quitting. Yeah, I don't think they're quitting. They may be taking a hiatus. Gold all the way. What is gold at right now? Whew, gold had a pretty decent drop there. We're still above the 21 EMA. If we can keep above that 21 EMA, gold may come back up a little bit more, but it does look like it could possibly make a head and shoulders here. So be careful with that. Silver, nice little dump with silver. Remember, guys, I always talk about when the markets dump, gold and silver will dump with it. It always does. What's up, Barbie? Hedge funds face major margin calls as Trump's tariffs spark fears of a market crash. So now looking for, I should have not said that word. I will not say that word no more, but honestly, none of that has anything to do with it. If you guys been watching the channel for any amount of time, I was off by the timing, but like I said, when it happens, it really doesn't matter if you're off by the timing, as long as you're not in the markets when this happens. If this is what's happening, we could definitely be seeing the biggest opportunity of our lifetime, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. This took how many years? It was like 1929 to, and it doesn't have to be exact, right? 32. So 3 years from top to bottom. That was a big, it wasn't in a day. Like people think of the Great Depression and the Great Financial Crisis like it all happened in a day. That's not how it happened, right? They had some huge drops in a day, but it took years, right, to get to the bottom. I think financial crisis wasn't even that big of a deal, really. That was a housing market crash. This is an everything crash. But I think this will probably take a few years to bottom. Now, if it doesn't, if it goes straight down like we've seen some of the big dumps in the, past decade, where it dumps real hard and then shoots right back up because they print money, that means they're not letting it happen like it should happen, and we're just going to continue doing the same crap over again with inflation and things like that. So drugs will do good as a hedge. Do you think 25K Bitcoin is possible at all? Yes, Denny. I think lower than that is a possibility. If these markets crash like that, how would anyone expect Bitcoin to hold up? It can't, right? Gold can't even hold up in a market crash. We could have something like this being all one cycle. Because if you think about it, let's go back over to this chart, right? Let's go back over to here. So Bitcoin's creation, right, was right here at the very bottom of this. It's seen nothing but a bull market its whole life. I don't even think Bitcoin's, well, I know Bitcoin hasn't seen a bear market. It's seen this blip, right, that they faked and brought it right back up, but it's never seen a true bear market, right? So what makes you think Bitcoin will hold up in a bear market? It won't. These highly speculative assets are the first things to go because people need cash. They need money. They got to sell something. And Bitcoin, there's a lot of people holding Bitcoin that are probably holding more Bitcoin than they probably should, and they'll be selling it quickly. especially those hedge funds that are now getting into it. They'll be the first ones to get the hell out because they got a lot of stuff to cover. I've shared some videos in the past, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and that may be what got my channel thing. Anyway, the lady's talking about all the hedge funds and all that taking out adjustable rate loans and buying big assets, big stocks, right? And they're not able to make them payments. So that's why you're seeing all the bankruptcies and stuff. This isn't because of the things that happened in the last couple of weeks. This is all because things have been coming along. But again, going back, because as you guys know, I'm like a squirrel. I can't keep concentration for too long on one thing. But I think this was all one big bear market or bull market with 5 waves, 5-wave structure. You had your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this could be our first wave too, our first real correction for Bitcoin, and it be huge. I do see it being possible if the stock markets crash. Now, if the stock markets somehow miraculously, man, I can't talk tonight. And guys know I don't even drink. So anyways, if by some kind of miracle, the stock markets pump up, go another leg higher, or another 2 legs higher, then this might not happen. Then we could be looking at this bullish one, right? This is the bullish case over here that we had drawn out. That's if this holds and they print more money, or, you know, I don't know, the Fed gets in and does something, but it's not looking like that's going to happen. It's looking more like the bearish case scenario, guys. Mug said that could have been it. I don't know. Let's see. What are you guys talking about here? That's my Great Depression chart. Game over. Thank you. Hi, LOL. Hey, Savvy, quick question. If you have time to look at it, what do you think about the GameStop? Asking for a friend? GameStop. Let's check it out. You know, I have a GameStop chart. I don't know if I actually have it up here or not. Let's see. I have a GameStop. I do have some GameStop that I bought way back when. I sold a lot of it and got my profits, but I kept some. I kept some of that, and I kept some AMC. Let me see if it'll come up here. CME. Oh no, that's CME. That's not what I was looking for. Not at all what I was looking for. Hold on a second. Let's see. Do I have it out over here maybe? Here, let me just pull it up on a clean chart. Where is my poop coin chart? That's the one I like to pull stuff up on here. All right. Oh, there's my GameStop chart. All right, so here it is. If we break this low, I see us coming. I see this crashing in a big way. If we break this structure right here, this is where I see our major resistance. It could get bullish if it can break the 28.50, I'd say. You could be looking for some more upside, maybe up to that 49 for another, you know, one more pump. If it breaks this trend line here, this 49.60, it could get crazy. But now for the bad side, right? So your support right now is about $20, 80, say $20.80 range. If that breaks, then you're probably going to come back down to these lows here, $9 or $10. Possibly much lower. Like I was saying the other day, everything might go back to where it was right around the 2020 stuff right back here, right? Go back down to those levels. All the charts are showing like they want to go back to those levels, or they're showing areas where they most likely could go back to those levels. I'll put it that way. I don't know how to say it without making people think I'm telling them that it's guaranteed, right? None of this is financial advice. So, all right. Paul Sullivan said, bye. Denny said, I agree 100%, looking very bearish. Thanks, Savvy. Appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. GameStop just had another scandal. Markets will miraculously pump back once one more time, in my opinion. Nick Starr said, yeah, I mean, it's not out of the question for sure. Like I said, there's the charts that show one more leg up, and I know there's a lot of people calling for one more leg up, but in normal times, maybe, I don't know. I just think this could get really bad. And everybody says it's the Kramer effect. Do the opposite of Kramer, because Kramer's calling for Black Monday. He's got to be right once in a while, right? Or then people wouldn't pay to be on his whatever call thing he does or whatever. So they got to let him be right once in a while, and it's probably going to be a big call like that one. Maybe they'll let that one be the right, but who knows? It could bounce tomorrow. Like I said, if Bitcoin comes down quite a bit tonight, let's say it gets down to this 55 EMA at about 76,000, right around opening of the market, might bounce up with the market if the market takes a bounce up. Shorted a Doge derivative yesterday evening, used a 30-minute trend line, easy, nice. Right on, Darren. Much love, bro. It's not rocket surgery. It's not rocket surgery. That's the first time I heard that. 183 viewers, man. Awesome. I appreciate it, guys. Half of you smashed the like button. That's awesome. Make sure you guys smash that like, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel too. So what I've been doing lately, and I'm going to stick to it unless things change and viewers, it's kind of your guys' channel too. So I'm going to kind of leave it up to you. Now, as of right now, I'm doing pre-market. So before the markets open Monday through Friday, I have a little short video, 8 to 10 minutes, kind of going over where the markets are and what I think is going to happen for the day. And then we do a live at noon Eastern time, right? So that's what I'm doing right now. So like I said, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you tick that notification bell. That'll notify when I post videos. Like this video wasn't planned. Just with Bitcoin breaking 80,000, I thought I would come in, make a video, see how everybody's doing. Metals come back faster and could only temporarily break 35%, not 75% like Bitcoin could. Maybe, but I've showed people now, again, this is not a guarantee, right? But I've showed people with the size of this market crash, right? If it's going to be to, like, I think, right? Let's put this in the 3-day. That shows gold as a finished 5 wave, right? Well, let me go into a weekly. It might show up a little better, right? So you had wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with an extended 5th wave, right? So this should have a big correction. That could be a lot more than 35%, man. Just to let you know, like right back here, what was it? It was 66% right here in the 70s, right? Right here it was 45%, right? In the 2012-ish. So it could be a lot worse, right? So these are just, that was a wave 1. It did 65%. So let's say it did 65% here, right? Just like it did back there. If, right? I'm not saying it's going to for sure, but what would it be if it did, right? So that'd be about $1,000 gold. To say that's impossible is kind of like saying I have no idea what I'm talking about ever, and I probably shouldn't be alive. I don't know. But anyways, how can it be Black Monday with the circuit breaker? The circuit breaker can break, right? Smash that like button, people. There's 200 people in here. Smash it, guys. I appreciate you guys stopping in, man. Kind of wanted to hear how everybody was feeling, what everybody's thinking of this. I know most of the people that watch my channel are probably just in a pretty good mood. Let's see where our shorts are. We're up 17,000 right now on this one, and this one here 300%. We're up 2,900. Not bad. Anyone that's been following along, we've made a shit ton of money in the last little over a month, right? I'd have to remember. Some of you might remember that I've been following, but I had put a $7,000 in the account, and we're up about, well, if I close this trade right now, we'd be up about 150,000 for the month. Right now, we're up about 130 without profit or loss on this one. We'll see what happens. And that was only that account. This one I just started trading on recently, BITUNIX just a new sponsor of the channel. I tested a bunch of them out because people were asking for no VPN, no KYC exchanges. So I tried a bunch of them out, and this one was by far my favorite of them. I seemed like a awesome exchange. They got plenty of liquidity, so your trades get in and out. Yeah, so that's the no KYC choice. And this one, like I said, I like this because I can trade Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, everything. And you can use your crypto to trade in traditional markets. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool setup. Nick Starr said gold is completely controlled and is up for definitely up for a big correction too. I think so, man. But like I said, if everything else gets one more leg up, then everything else gets one more leg up. Fortunately, we trade and we'll make money no matter what, right? We would just look for good setups. Mug, Savvy, do you primarily trade the 4-hour time frame? Do you let the EMA breaks dictate entries or TA? Yes, it does. And like I said, a lot of times, and not every trade's the same, right? So a lot of times I will trail my stop losses on the 8 EMA in the 4-hour. Usually once it breaks the 8 EMA like this one did here, it'll go way back up and I'll look for a new short position if I think it's going lower, right? Unless you're looking for a long. So I really, honestly, won't be comfortable putting in a long until it gets into the 60s, probably. High 60s, maybe even low 60s. Like I showed you guys my bounce targets over here. We've had these targets forever and a day, right? These were my first main ones, 66 to 69. But I think there's a possibility now we go to that 62. And that just being the break of this triangle up here, right? Again, doesn't have to happen, but I want to be... I like to know what could happen, right? Be prepared as much as you can. But if the money from gold go into Bitcoin, you can tomorrow evening buying around... The money from gold isn't going to go into Bitcoin. Bitcoin's cool and all, and it'll probably last and be around for a long time, but it's not a gold. It's not as secure as gold. Without electricity, without the internet, you don't have Bitcoin, right? You'll still have gold. So no matter what, I think gold is going to be the safest bet. Although, like I said, gold crashes just like everything else, right? Hey, far away. My pleasure, man. Thanks for tuning in. Monthly basis 67,000 area. You're looking at the monthly chart. Let's see. There's my weekly. I don't even know if I have a monthly up here. I don't, but I can make this weekly a monthly real quick. You're talking about... So which low are you going off of? Or you're going off of this here? The old support resistance line right here. Silent Trader, what's up, man? Not being very silent. What if OB filing for whole markets? What happens after that? That's a what if, man. I like to look at the charts, right? The charts have done me right. So we kind of got our bounce about where we thought. No matter what, it's going to be a bounce area. Will it hold is the question. If we bounce below there, most likely this will become resistance. And as you can see on the daily, we have a lot more room for downside here. So not that it has to, but we have a lot more room for it. If it wants to happen, this can go down quite a bit. Paul Sullivan said it's all a Ponzi. What else we got here? Smash, hit 1 if this is the first time you've been in here. Hit 2 if you're a regular. And yeah, just curious to see. 1 if you're new, 2 if you're a regular. Obviously, Alexandra and Donna. What's up, Christian? The Moo Point, what's up? Ebert Williams, Mug, Chad. I'm just gonna say Chad. What's up? Part our silent trader, one more Bitcoin bounce to 401k. Woo! Damn. Is that like a secret thing? Saying something about the 401k? Um, Paul Sullivan, David Watts. Well, welcome to all you new people, and welcome back to all you people that've been around for a while. T1, Jeff Noob, old as hell. Yes, Jeff, you have been around for an extremely long time, my boy. Anyways, again, appreciate it. You guys definitely rock for stopping in. What is the best world currency if markets crash? I mean, the US dollar. I still believe the US dollar. The US dollar will probably remain on top until it's not, right? I mean, you could say gold, I guess, but cash is something that everybody will take still. There's not people that aren't taking cash. So cash would be where I'd want to be. You can go to any country and still spend the US dollar and it's still worth money. Fun fact, Nakamoto Satoshi equals Central Intelligence in Japanese language. I believe that. I've said that a lot. Like, what if it's just all a test, right? To get everybody on a currency. And we got to remember Bitcoin can still be programmed. It still has a group of devs, right? Of course, the community has to agree on it right now, right? And the devs can change things if it's agreed upon, this and that. But what if, right? The government went in and said, no, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to put in the code. Could they do that? I don't know. But is it possible? It is. CBDC. We'll see. I mean, there's been talk about it. We'll see. If anything, I think they'll use the USDC. I think that is the most likely thing they're going to use for bank transactions and stuff. You know why? Because they'll be able to make a lot of money off it and program the money, right? 5 million Bitcoin are missing. There's no known number for sure how many Bitcoin are missing. And if someone tells you they know, they don't. They're lying. The only thing we know is Satoshi's wallet. And honestly, somebody could have the keys to that and actually dump it one day. I'm not saying they're gonna. It probably will never happen, but there is a possibility of that. Many countries are folding on their tariffs. This could give us what we need for a massive risk on period for low cap stocks and then to altcoins, in my opinion. I think the altcoin dream is over. But again, I could be totally wrong, but I really do. They just flooded the market with a bunch of garbage. So there's too many places for the money to spread to get anything to pump worth of crap. I mean, you're going to get random flyers, right? But you're not going to get the alt season crap. Only downside for BitUniX is that you are forced to use Tether. I mean, a lot of exchanges are like that, right? And until Tether doesn't work, it works. I don't believe in any of that stuff, to be honest. But that's my opinion. But it works. T coin and M coin is the best. Those are a couple words that I don't think I can say anymore. But here is that T coin. Woo! Look at that bad boy. Look at that bad boy. If that kind of stuff doesn't tell you guys something, I know most people watching this channel, most of you we're more of a mature group of people than a lot of the other audiences that they get hyper over some silly stuff and they believe silly things. And I like to think that we have a very intelligent group of people here. And I do appreciate you guys. Platinum, rhodium, undervalued. Platinum was worth more than gold mostly and can be used for cars. It's rare both in yeah, that's probably true, David King, but I don't think anything like that's going to matter if this market crash continues, right? It's going to be a lot worse. It's going to be more about people worrying where they're going to get their next meal and stuff. Unfortunately, and that might sound fear and mongering and whatever. It's not. It's just fact that if that happens to the markets, companies will go under, people will lose their jobs. You know, and I hate to say it could get pretty damn ugly. That's why I say Great Depression 2.0 style. But again, it may not happen. Some miracle might happen, but in all reality, it would be the best thing for everybody. I think the markets and everything would be able to clean up, wash out all the garbage, get out all the over leveraged crap, and really get back to a real fair trade market. I don't know. Let me know what you think of that. Shouldn't take a genius to understand markets are overinflated. Yeah, I mean, and the valuations of these companies is just stupid. Stupid. What's your thoughts on the dollar? You still think that it has a run to new highs? I do, for sure. I do. I don't think the dollar is going anywhere. Not probably in my lifetime. I really don't see the dollar going nowhere. Like I said, they always put fear in the dollar, right? And the dollar is losing value, yeah, because of debt, right? Because they issue debt and print money. That's what's going to happen. But it's not. I don't think it's going to die yet. There's nothing to sustainably I hate trying to think of certain words, but there's nothing to replace it, right? And actually work and be accepted everywhere and everybody take it on yet. It's going to take a long time for that to happen in any way, shape, or form against the dollar. BRICS, I think that BRICS crap's a bunch of bricks. That's what I think, but who knows? Let's see. Lots of precious metals crash with the removal of emission standards. That's true. I never thought about that, but that's true. Regulation changes. That's definitely 100% true. Yep. Anybody else with any ideas you want to get out there? I'm curious to hear, you know, your thoughts, your perception, your view of Bitcoin, markets, crypto, anything. What do you guys think? Savvy's agriculture will be the best investment, so no need for dollar replacement. Agriculture. I do have some land. I have some land that I live on, and I have bought some land that I plan on doing stuff with. Henry said USDT and MICO rule for Europe. When will starting that rule? I don't know. Oh, that they can't use the USDT there? I mean, I don't know. I don't keep up with so much of the Euro stuff. I do see people post about certain things. Oh, I want to check this. So the bear market, 63 says yes, 63% no, 33% say no, and 4% say FU savvy. Well, thank you. Still 4% clinging on to that FU savvy. Buy land in Europe, Alexandra said. I mean, that might not. Is there property tax in Europe? Are you in Europe, Alexandra? And is there property tax there? Because I know, like, when I went to Argentina, you buy your land, you build your house, and there is no property tax, no nothing. You bought it, you own it. That's it. Nobody can take it from you unless they buy it. Yes, that's what I thought. It's cool. That's awesome. That is awesome. Have you ever used anything other than the RSI? What do you think of the CCI? The RSI, I think, is the only true indicator, right? It literally follows the body of the candle. And I think cluttering your chart with a bunch of indicators, and I'm not saying just use the RSI, right? You can pick the ones you want, but using a bunch of them or the flashy ones with a bunch of dots and different colors and stuff, I just think it's too much. You literally could trade just trading freaking trend line breaks. I mean, but I think less is better. I think too many indicators, and especially the flashy ones, I just don't think are worth it. Savvy, have you ever used? Oh wait, I already read that. You are in Europe. It depends on the country. Okay, so different countries out there still do have property tax. I still highly doubt it's anywhere near the price of property tax that we pay, because it is stupid out here. Some places much worse than others. UK has stamp duty, and there are yearly local taxes. Local taxes, but do you mean, is that taxes on your land? That's two different things, I think. In Slovakia, no tax. Croatia, you pay around 3.5% of property value. Okay. Buying land in South America and especially Argentina is definitely still the preferred option. Yeah, I did a lot of it, like where I was in Argentina, a lot of it's just like wooded areas and lots of, I don't want to say forest, but lots of mountainy, foresty stuff. But so you got to have permission to cut it down, cut so much down. You got to ask the government for permission after you buy it. For a while there, people were buying it and then burning it so they could say it wasn't them that burnt it, and oh, it's cleared now so I can use it. So I mean, there's some things there, but I highly doubt they would say you can't cut down a couple trees to build a house, right? What's the volume bars on the right hand side called again? The high volume nodes one? Oh, right here. VRVP, right here. VRVP. That's what you look it up under. It's a relative volume. I can't remember what it stands for right now, because it used to be called VPVR. Now it's VRVP, but it's relative volume basically. It keeps the volume, it's just like the volume at the bottom, but on the side, as in, so you can get horizontal trends, right? That's been our big one right there at 83.5. Stamp duty up to 15% local tax, more for running local services set by a property. So okay, so them palm, so them ones. So if you're paying that 15% tax, do you have like an income tax, or do you have like a sales tax still on things, or just curious? Because I know that in Argentina there wasn't no. In Argentina, you can easily buy your permissions, yeah, because there was no like sales tax on anything or anything, right? And the guys that, so we went bird hunting, and we had they called them bird boys. They would load our shotguns. We would shoot. They had, depending on what shotgun you're using, 3 to 5 shots. You'd shoot them and then put your gun down, and he'd load it back up, and you'd keep shooting because there would be so many birds flying, right? Um, and they were saying they just paid a percentage, just the same percentage every week or month or whatever their pay was on, and that was it, right? There was no filing your income tax, none of that crap. And like I said, you'd go to a store, there was no sales tax or anything. It's just totally, it's like we get taxed to death, man. In South Africa, when you buy property for investment purposes, you will get taxed when you sell and make a profit on it. You don't get taxed when you're on your primary residence. Okay, and that makes sense. I mean, I get it. If I get it, still, at least you're not paying that. Where are you at, Donna? I know you've told me before, but I'm not 100% sure. Volume, profile, visible range. Right on. That's it. A tax already in all products. Only USA shows prices with and without taxes. Yeah, and it's weird because you're from Argentina. Okay. Yeah, it's weird because we get taxed, income tax, and then every time we buy something we get taxed, and then when we sell something, we get taxed. And then when we do anything, it gets taxed. Our dollar gets taxed till we get like 15-20% of it, right? In the long run, when you look at the big picture of paying all our property taxes. And I even consider, like, you know, registration for your car as a tax. They just don't call it a tax. And just constantly more money, more money. The government wants your money. It's the same but simpler. If you get to a certain amount per year, you file taxes. Okay. Property tax buying goes to government. No tax when you sell the one you live in. Local tax paid almost for maintenance of local area separate to wages. Okay. When you die, you also get taxed, right? Was the DXY chart show? Let me pull it up. I haven't looked at it. Here's one. It's kind of messy, though. Get some of this stuff off here. Well, this is the area I expect to hold for the DXY if it's going to. Let's see. We put a target on there. Around that 100 points. That's what I'm looking for. We'll see. And if it does, then it should bounce up much, much higher. But if you look at the overall picture of the DXY, let me see. I got another one on here, right here. If you look at the overall picture of it, let's put it in the monthly, right? So we're right here, right? We've been much higher before. We've been much lower. So it's not dead. Not dead. And this is up against a basket of currencies, right? So yeah, it's trying to see on the monthly. There's no real indication of anything crazy, right? But yeah, we could definitely get a little bit lower. This major support, this is on the monthly, about 96. But I think this 100 will most likely hold. But again, I could be wrong. We'll see what happens there. The smaller time for the 10-year yield, man, it could go a lot lower. It's possible, right? This does look like a head and shoulders here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And if that's the case, then our target would be about that 341. But again, there's going to be support down here at about 373. And then, of course, if it gets back above this resistance at 4.09, then that'll probably become support and it'll get another leg up. Expecting a dead cat bounce, savvy. I was saying that if Bitcoin continues to drop here, I think there will be a dead cat bounce in the markets tomorrow, and kind of Bitcoin will probably bounce with it. It's hard to say. If the traditional markets don't bounce, then Bitcoin will probably continue down more too. I think Bitcoin's trying to catch up to where the markets are now, but we'll see. I like cats. All right, guys. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for all the likes, guys. I really do appreciate you. I just wanted to come in, talk about what's going on a little bit, and say hey to you guys. It is Sunday. I hope everyone's having an awesome weekend. And like I said, if you're new here, make sure you smash the likes. Make sure you tick your notification bells, subscribe, and share the videos, guys. It helps tremendously. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning. You'll see my pre-market video about 9-ish. It'll come out before the markets open. And then at noon, after the market's been going for a while, we'll see what's going on, and we'll do a live stream at noon and talk about what's happening. And you guys can let me know if you've heard anything I haven't heard. So again, guys, I appreciate you. Much love, and I will catch you in the next